Howdy, everyone. Welcome into the TexAgs Rewind. Nick Savage here outside of the Rollo Insurance Studio. We're brought to you by Specs, and got Luke Evangelist right there just working away on the Rewind today. OB, Luke was on the Rewind. Wow, shocking. Mike Earley on the Rewind as well, and Billy Liucci, of course, talking all things Aggie Athletics. Check it out.
Let's talk about the 4 seed, Denver versus Yale. Texas A&M basketball. By the way, I find the 4 seed, even though I wanted the 3 seed, very much so, found it to be very fair based on how the season ended.
Well, yeah, I don't think you can complain. I still thought there might be a 3 seed, but you lose that game. If they're going to dock you a seed line, you just have to. Yeah, you just have to take. You can't complain too much, because if you win a game that you should have won, then you don't have anything to complain about.
Yeah, look, A&M is in this position because they played poorly down the stretch. And I hope what we saw in the Auburn game is more who they will be in this tournament. Because what I saw in the SEC tournament, only one game, was a team that was outplayed and still had chances to win against Texas.
Oh, many chances.
Many chances.
If you don't get the timeout, Wade Taylor's 3 counts and you win the game. You're up 7. But you still miss free throws late. You had that strange play after the timeout, trying an alley-oop from the sideline, which is a very low percentage play. You still had 7 seconds on the clock. Look, I know it wouldn't work. It never works out this way. Things change. But if you just inbound and use the 7 seconds up, that's 7 more seconds on the clock. Texas scored that tying basket with 4 seconds left.
Or maybe just keep the ball in your best player's hands and force the action. If he takes a bad shot, he takes a bad shot. If he gets fouled, you go to the line.
Or at the very least, you take off. Hey, with the way they get offensive rebounds, maybe you get an offensive rebound. The whole alley-oop from the sideline just didn't make sense to me.
So every once in a while, I have this like Nostradamus. And by the way, what I'm about to tell you,
Nuno-damus?
Nuno-damus. A lot of people were predicting this matchup with Yale. But I did tell the group in the back, Kay Nagley and Nick, I was like, it's going to be Yale, and they're a great 3-point shooting team. This is who's going to be. And it ended up being Yale. There was a lot of projections of them playing Yale. So I had some, insider information, no, but I did have projections out there to help me get there.
We still want to do well in the NCAA tournament, but I would not suggest, nor do I feel as a coach, that it all should be based on postseason. This is my 11th NCAA tournament as a coach, but when you start talking about 33 games, 32 games, and when you get above that, obviously you're talking about postseason. I think all of that success led to this moment, and now you just want to build on it.
All right, so I got my thoughts on that, OB. I don't know if you do. Luke, you were telling me yesterday, social media, they kind of reacted to that soundbite.
Yeah, well, I think what Buzz said about being judged on the program that they've built over the last couple of years and not just a couple games. I think what he was trying to say, the message that he was trying to say, I get it, because it is about building a program, but I think he should be judged on that and what you do in March. It shouldn't be either or.
OB, I don't think we get to choose how people perceive our success. We can have our own metrics, right? If, for instance, I think Charles Barkley is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. People hold against him not winning an NBA championship. I get it. I can't change the way people look at him or Karl Malone or John Stockton, right? For me, I think Charles, just watching him makes him one of the best ever. But I understand the metrics. We can't shape what people think about him. That being said, he can think about his career however he wants.
Well, along those lines, it's a team game. And I think it's stupid when they say, oh, somebody's not a great player or one of the greatest because his team didn't win. Well, where his team would have been without him, right? So that's, as far as, look, basketball coaches, Buzz Williams has had a successful run here. This is 3 years in a row that A&M is getting to the NCAA tournament and got hosed out of what should have been 4 in a row. And quite frankly, over the course of history, A&M doesn't go 3 years in a row to the tournament very often.
Yep. Yeah. So obviously, Coach, the start of the season has presented some challenges and some hurdles. How do you kind of characterize the difficulty that it's been keeping the team's mindset pointing in the right direction?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough for sure. I mean, it's not ideal, and it's really tough when you're not just going out there and getting ran off the field. You're going out there and losing close baseball games, which I think shows the character of the guys on the team and the resilience they have, and that has to continue. So, I mean, the message is keep plugging, don't quit. There's none of that in that locker room, and I think you'll see that by our play the rest of the season, regardless of what happens. So it's definitely tough. I mean, you lose 3 close baseball games, and then kind of where the little bit of a hole we put ourselves in, makes it hurt where it always hurts. But it's tough. I mean, tough. No one's more disappointed than the players, and but just gotta keep rolling.
Coach, when you're obviously kind of strapped for time at once the season gets going, and this week you've got a Tuesday game, and then you go to Vanderbilt, start that series on Thursday. But if you had more time, what would be some of the things that you would be spending the vast majority of if you could pick one element that, hey, we really got to hammer down on this from a coaching perspective, is there an element to the team that you would like to spend more time on?
I mean, I'd like to hit better. I mean, I like to, hit strikes better, and it's just we're strapped on time, and not only are we injured with guys out. I mean, there's guys playing with injuries, which is everywhere across the country. But it's tough to like the day like today, you want to do something, but I mean, number one, you have to have an off day this week, and it's just literally guys are just too banged up to do it. So I think that aspect of it would be the major thing. I mean, from we're continue to crush them on defense, but it gets to a point where you do that to a point where you can't get someone hurt. And, it's been fairly okay. I mean, that stretch, and then, Saturday was bad and one error yesterday, but I think the simple fact of the matter is we got to hit.
Anyway.
I also hate losing.
Oh, I hate it so
and A&M
much.
did too much of that this weekend.
Yeah.
The loss to Texas in basketball, the loss on the diamond, everyone's at their wits' end. I get it. I'm there with you. It wasn't just loss in basketball. It was you lost to Texas. You got them in the tournament with that loss. What's more important is you cost yourself maybe a season. I'm not convinced of that, though. I mean, they might have. We've seen too much craziness with this committee. I don't know if A&M, maybe they would go to the title game and they're a 2 seed. Maybe they beat Texas and they're still a 4 seed. They're just like a better 4. It's just too hard to tell.
Yep.
That we talked about it yesterday. That's not a killer. The killer is just where A&M is right now. I know this is like goes against like everything that I kind of preach and stuff, but I mean, the Aggies need this weekend in basketball. I think the overall sanity of the fan base and look, and I think it's fair to expect a hell of a lot more across the board. Now, basketball, on the flip side, I think fans should be really excited about this, more so than they are. I don't give a damn that their last game, like, we're 4 days removed from it. Obviously, if you want to change the outcome, you would like to see A&M beat freaking Texas in everything. It pisses me off. I spent a bunch of money we did as a company to get out there. We're going to do the same thing again this weekend in Denver. Like, on so many levels, that pisses you off. Just sit there and watch that. Losing to them, I think, again, like, it was a fun basketball to watch throughout the second half. Like, 2 teams, like, laying it all out there. It's fun to watch right up until it wasn't. But I think people should be way more excited about this basketball game and what this team's potential is. I know Yale is, we talked yesterday at length, Yale is a nerve-wracking first-round opponent. It's not really who you'd want to see. By the same token, UC San Diego might be twice as hard to beat.
Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Watch all our videos and stay tuned for tomorrow's program. Thanks for watching.